Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I am really excited about this. I was able to snag one before they sold out, and it is something different. Something different made by Reate. So, of course, I'm going to have to make it with my something different by Reate. Yeah, this is really exciting to me. I think it has a few new things on here. Magnetic box. And also, this Reate is actually affordable compared to other Reates. We're talking about lower 100s. I think it was $120, 127, something like that, which I know doesn't sound too cheap, but honestly is very cheap for Reate. Oh, nice sticker for Reate too. Oh yeah, nice box. Very nice box. Okay, look at what we have here. I think this is a copper or brass. I think it's a brass finish here. A brass DLC. Nitro V, very good steel. Oh yeah. And also I think this has a new locking mechanism. Oof. All right, look at that blade. That is what I'm talking about, people. Something new, something different. This is not your usual thing. Oh, okay. Okay, so you just push the button. The pivot itself is a release mechanism. But look at that brass copper. What is this? Does it say? Which one did I get? Copper PVD coated. And not only is the blade coated, but also the clip and the spacer on the back. So this is reversible for lefties. That's great. Looks like it has a lockout button too, which is fine. I have a couple of knives that have a lockout button, mainly on automatics. But I guess that's because like maybe you could accidentally push the pivot and release it. Although I think that would be pretty hard. Oof, very nice, very nice. Let's see if Reate knows how to make their knives sharp when they send them, shall we? Let's see. Oh God, very nice. Yeah, Nitro D is a good steel. Nitro V, I like it. This textured, not textured, this contoured micarta is very nice. On the back space, okay, so over here you see it has where the pivot insert is, and on this other side is the lock, and when you depress the pivot itself, it releases it. You can't really see what's going on inside. Don't worry, I'm going to do a full disassembly on this and show you guys how this works. Hopefully be able to get it back together again too. It's not, there's not quite enough room there to finger flick it with a thumb stud. Yeah, it's just straight up thumb deployment. But very easy to do. And can you open it with a button? Yeah, you can open it with a button too. And it feels like it needs to be worked in / maybe loosened a little bit. I don't know how that works because I assume that the pivot is also providing the detent. And the bearings or washers are really large. You can see them right there, like much larger than the locking mechanism and pivot itself. But you can see right in there the phosphor bronze, I'm assuming, washers. Nice and contoured. No lanyard hole, speed holes on the side. This comes in a lot of different colors and variations. I believe this was the one that sold out first on almost all the sites. Because of the copper PVD coated. That's really cool. Curious to see how it keeps its coating. But that color, I mean, just to have something that is new and fresh and different is awesome. And it only happens once or twice or 3 times a year if you're lucky. And this is new for a number of different reasons. First, for my collection for a budget Reate, which is, like I said, is like 120-ish, 130-ish. And also just this coating is amazing. And the lock. Like I know that a couple other people have tried doing this, but this is really cool. And the fact that it has a lockout, also pretty interesting. I don't know if I might use it if I was going to be using this a lot. But just for opening a package or something, I certainly wouldn't use the lockout for that. But you can see the little lockout there, and it's got a little bit of jimping on it. And then you just push down this button here. You can see how it's proud of the scale. Push that down and now it's loose. Yeah. And doesn't really have a choke up point, but actually you can choke up on this. You can. Let's take a measurement of it just so you have an idea of the overall size. So we're talking about a 3-inch blade, an overall length of 7. So on the smaller size for knives, and here it is next to a paramilitary 2. You can see it's definitely a step down, probably closer to the Delica range. I don't have one of those for an example right now, sorry. But here it is next to a Rat number 1, Rat number 2, sorry. So about the same size as a Rat number 1, but just a little bit taller on the blade, right? So that seems to be a really good comparison right there. Very cool, Reate. This is what we need to see more of. We need to see more people making new things in different ways and at affordable prices. This is freaking awesome, and I'm so excited to get a chance to review this and open it up and see how it works. Hopefully be able to put it back together again. That is the name of the game. Something like this. So sweet. I love these lines here. I love this full backspacer here with a little bit of jimping there. And the jimping is just a little bit of proud. This is a sandwich construction. So we've got, you know, a sheet of your micarta here and then a steel liner, which is also blacked out coated. I assume that's PVD and not paint, but who knows? But it's Reate, so it's probably done well. The Nitro V is going to be just based on Reate's reputation, very well heat treated. I don't think that there's any information about that. And in the package too, they're including a new spring. I assume that that is for the pivot. It's interesting that the spring is so small. You see that? It's pretty narrow. I would assume that the spring was like going around a larger part, but maybe it's just going around the inside threaded screw head. I'm not sure. But that's good. They include an extra spring and a couple of extra screws for you, 2 different sizes. It looks like they have one for the insert here, and they have an extra one here for the back part here, which is for the clip. The clip screw is proud. This type of bent clip is fine. I don't mind this kind of style. Almost call it like a Chris Reeve style, right? I don't mind this style. It's okay. You're on the pocket carry profile, you know, you've only got a little bit sticking up there. This is a thicker knife than I was expecting. It's basically as thick as a PM2, maybe a skosh more. And let's compare it to something like the Hogue Deca 2. So Hogue Deca is probably going to be, so yeah, it's definitely thicker than the Hogue Deca as well. A good 1/8 of an inch thicker than the Hogue Deca, I'd say. See if you can see that. So a thick boy, but that's probably because of the locking mechanism, which, you know, on the end of the day, I don't really mind because I would rather have something new that's a little bit thicker than nothing new at all. And this is pretty darn cool. I'm really excited to see how this PVD coating wears as well. What do you guys think about this? I think it's great that someone as high quality as Reate is doing something like this at a reasonable price. That is very cool. And they'll probably, if this is a bang and this is a hit, they're going to come out with more flashy versions of this and probably get thickness down too. So what do you guys think? Thanks so much for joining me. Please leave a comment, subscribe, and if you want a chance to win a knife every month, all you got to do is support me by becoming a Patreon member or by clicking the link down below to become a YouTube supporter. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.